Starting a YouTube channel has been a goal of mine for some time, and if you're here, it's probably been one of yours too. Like me, you've wanted to be a creator and share your ideas online, but for whatever reason, you've not started. We all have our reasons for not starting, and I'm sure that a lot of yours are really similar to mine. Hi, I'm Jake, and on this channel I'm looking for loads of little ways to make life a little bit better, so hopefully you'll be able to learn something along the way. When it comes to YouTube, it's something I've wanted to do for a long time, but there's been a few small obstacles that have got in the way. Hopefully if you're watching this video, you're probably in the same boat as me, so this will help you as well. Let's get into it. There's 3 main obstacles that have stopped me from starting a YouTube channel. So let's start with the first one, worrying about being judged. I've been worried that nobody will care what I have to say, or that what I have to say doesn't actually have any value. And it's fair to say that you probably have the same feelings. But after reading Show Your Work, I've realised that probably isn't the case. Instead of worrying about people judging you, it's much better to think about sharing your ideas and work online as a normal person who just gets obsessed by something and spends a long time thinking out loud about it. So in many ways, it's not actually about the who, it's more about the what. It's about the creation and it's about the process, because eventually your audience will follow you if you've got something worthwhile to say. There's always going to be people that are interested in what you're interested in. It's just about finding them. I think the most important thing to think about when deciding on whether to share work or not is, will this help or will this entertain at least one person on the internet? And if that's the case, then by all means share it. And then one final way to stop worrying about what people think is to realise that nobody actually cares what you're up to. I'm sure you have this sense of narcissism from time to time, that people are watching your every move, but actually people are just living their lives and getting on with it. This is called the spotlight effect. In reality, nobody's actually watching every tiny part of your life, and very few people pay attention to what you're up to. So the next time you're worrying about people being concerned with what you're up to, just think, nobody cares. And to be honest, if they do care, they're probably people that you don't want to concern yourself with in the first place. So there's some useful ways why I don't need to worry about sharing my thoughts and sharing my ideas online. The next thing to talk about is, what do I talk about? This fear comes from the idea that you'll probably worry that nobody will care about what you have to say. In the first year or so of my life on YouTube, this will probably be true. And I'll spend most of my time shouting into the void and nobody will be answering back. And if you're watching this, this might also be true for you. The main thing to focus on, and my main thing to focus on, is content and talking about stuff that I care about and that I enjoy, because ultimately that's what's going to keep me going and keep me consistent, which will then lead to hopefully positive benefits over the long run. There is another side of this that I worry about though, which is that I'm not a massive authority on the things that I want to talk about. But again, this comes up in Show Your Work, and Austin Kleon puts this really well. Amateurs know that contributing something is better than contributing nothing. Amateurs might lack formal training, but they're all lifelong learners, and they make a point of learning in the open, so that others can learn from their failures and successes. It's fine to be an amateur, and to be honest, what do you know? Maybe I'll learn something along the way. There's no better time to know nothing about a subject and learn about it. The world is changing so quickly that eventually everybody's going to be an amateur. So I'm going to be doing this on my channel out loud, and hopefully you'll be able to learn along with me. So that's that for worrying about what to share. But what about if I'm worrying about sharing in the first place? This is a big one. Mainly it comes from this worry about coming across as self-centered. But like I mentioned before, nobody's really paying attention. Everybody's busy living their own lives and nobody has time to make these judgments about you. They've got their own worries, and I'm pretty sure that my YouTube videos are very, very near the bottom of that list. I read plenty of blogs and newsletters and articles and all sorts, and I've never once sat to think, wow, they are so self-centered, I can't believe they're sharing these really useful and interesting things online. So why would they or anybody else think the same about me? Or you, if this applies to you. And to be honest, who cares what people think? If there's people that have negative thoughts about you, you probably don't want to concern yourself with what they think anyway. So there we go. We've gone through 3 of the main obstacles that have stopped me from starting a YouTube channel, and I reckon that there's a good chance you'll probably be thinking that some of these apply to you too. Worrying about being judged has held me back for a long time, and I think it's this realization that nobody's paying attention. If there are people that have negative views about what you're up to, you probably don't really want to concern yourself with them in the first place. And I think that's the 3rd time I've said this in the video, but it's really true. Don't let people hold you back. This is a letter to myself and also a letter to you. Worrying about what people think is not going to help anybody. I'm rambling, but it's true. By focusing on what I enjoy talking about and things that I'm interested in, I don't need to worry about who's going to follow me, because eventually I'm going to find people that are interested in what I'm interested in. So in the meantime, I just need to focus on uploading stuff, keeping consistent, and that audience and people that are interested in what I'm interested in will come over time, and I'm sure it will for you too. Building my personal brand online will take some adjustment to sharing online, but I have to remind myself that, like I said before, I'm not judging any of the people that are sharing their stuff online, so why would they judge me? This has been a really good exercise, and I think it will really help you if you try it out too. It will show you that the reasons that you're scared about sharing online aren't actually that scary at all. I've not really touched on the various reasons why I've decided to start a YouTube channel, all the crazy amount of benefits that go with it, and I do think that would be something interesting to run through in a later video. But in the meantime, if you haven't read Show Your Work yet, make sure you do. It's an amazing book about starting a personal brand online, not worrying about being an amateur. Also, it looks cool, it's short, and it's got loads of illustrations, so you can't really lose there. If you're looking for a really easy 3-step process on how to improve your sleep and just be generally more happy in life, then click here, and I'll see you there. Otherwise, have a good one. Cheers.